Welcome back to Urban Regenerative Gardening. I'll show you how to garden without buying fertilizers, pesticides, have a seed save. We go on a regenerative journey together, health journey together, where we do things like grounding, keep things safe and practical, connecting with the nature, working out outside with your shoes on, and getting minerals from the vegetables. You know how they say you can't get nutrients from food anymore because of what we've done to the soil. What we do regenerative gardening takes care of that problem. And exercising, shoes off outside, sun getting you is just one of the most best things you can do for your metabolism, optimal health. So that's what this channel is about. It's about optimizing your health through natural ways. And today it's it's October 26th, and I'm doing some harvesting out here. I have a cauliflower that I have to get. There's a little bit of string beans, not much, because this time, once it gets past like October 15th, there's just not the sun angle anymore for those delicate plants to really do anything. There's going to be a frost this weekend for sure, so I picked all the rest of my peppers. So I'm going to gather up my vegetables today and do some preparing the vegetables. I'm going to make some sauerkraut, so I'll probably make a sauerkraut video later. But for now, I just want to give you guys a little tour of regenerative gardening. Still have tomatoes here from only a couple more days left. They're gonna get frosted. But anyway, we got carrots. I'll leave them in because they can take the cold. They're actually still growing. I'll leave them in. We got rutabagas coming on. They'll still grow. They don't mind the cold. Another month maybe. But what I like to do is when I get an area cleared out, I put a layer of ground up leaves. My mower has a bagger on it, and I put like a good 3, 4, 5 inches of leaves once I get an area cleared out. You see there, this area is, as you can tell. There's the leaves, ground up leaves, and there's the bare ground. There's some more ground up leaves. So what that does is that protects the life in the soil over the winter. Then in the spring, your soil's pretty much ready to go. In regenerative gardening, it's all about the life in the soil. That's your fertilizer. And that's what keeps the minerals and it makes new compost. Every time you do a layer like this, I keep the layer on there, and it ends up being like a weed protection the following year. Like the next year, I'll just clear out a spot and plant something. And so that's how I end up. And it adds a little bit of compost every year. 4 or 5 inches of compost of ground up leaves will eventually give you, maybe a ½ inch of compost after it all breaks down. But over here's a couple of cabbages I'm gonna make sauerkraut with. And here's some more rutabagas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest some things here today. And set up a little area where I work on the vegetables. Take my shoes off. Let my body... What happens is we evolved connected to the ground, and when we're always wearing rubber shoes, our bodies actually are electric. They're electrical. Our life force and everything is electrical. So when we don't connect to the ground, there's an electricity that builds up in us. I know it sounds kind of wokey, but there's literally, like, you can have a meter, measure it, and there's going to be a measurement of electricity. You take your shoes off, connect with the ground, that meter will go to like 0. So it's an actual thing that can be measured. I'm getting ready to buy some grounding shoes, and when I was looking at it, I think it comes with a free meter that proves that it works, so it's going to be pretty cool. Can't wait to do that. I'll do a video on that. That's the kind of journey that I want to go through with you guys, so that we can all kind of get our health back. There's a lot of things wrong with our metabolism these days, and it has to do with how we strayed from the past. You know, medicine has a lot of goodness to it too, you know, like for acute injuries and stuff. You need modern day medicine for that kind of stuff. So, but we also need to connect, get back to reality, basically, with our lifestyles and stuff. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of string beans. But anyway, I actually made a short video when I planted this guy. It was like early August I planted it, and about as late as you can plant and hopefully get something. But here it is. It's just starting to get ahead on it, so maybe things in the brassica family, cabbage, cauliflower, and all that kind of stuff, they do fine until it gets regularly like in the 20s at night, and that just kind of, like, it can take maybe some 20s here and there, but not much more than that. So it'll be alright for like maybe another month if I'm lucky. So maybe that'll get ahead on it. I just recently, I noticed this guy here. I didn't think it was going to do anything, but it's actually getting a little head on it there. So this is how I harvest. This is how you harvest during regenerative gardening. You don't pull things out because you don't want to disturb the roots. You don't want to pull it out. So I just take like a hedge trimmer thing there, and I cut it like that. And that's probably should have like a wheelbarrow. Should have a wheelbarrow on perhaps. And this guy's funky here. This is rutabaga. It doesn't have much leaves on it, but this thing keeps getting bigger anyway, so that's pretty neat. Might get a nice rutabaga out of that. Like this area here, I want to try to get it cleared out as much as I can. This is where I plant my garlic. And for this weekend and next weekend, I'm going to cover this with leaves, 4 or 5 inches of leaves, and then put my garlic in. This is the time of year where you plant garlic. You're supposed to actually plant a little bit earlier than this, but I seem to be okay if I plant them a little late. I end up planting them late because I always have stuff in here. I gotta do a little better job at timing what I put on this side, I guess. So here's another big one. Just nice on here. But early on, I noticed there was something eating this, and I pulled it off. And I'm not sure. I think I got it in time. It looks pretty sturdy there. I hope it's alright. But that's one downfall of the regenerative gardening. You're not putting those pesticides on there, but I think it's worth it. You know, having some issues here and there. And the chemical issues. You're not putting chemicals on the ground. It's not going down the stream into the water supply and whatnot. Here's another one. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to get ahead on it, but in the last couple weeks, boy, it started getting bigger. And now this week, it's starting to get much harder, much more dense. I'm going to let that go like another week or two. Let's see what it does. And last year, I let a couple really tall a couple really tall garlics I had here just go to seed and let the little seedlings drop and lay around and see what would happen there. I get little garlics coming up from them. Some of them kind of fizzling out, dying there, and then others are looking great. So probably just at the depth they were in the soil or whatever. Maybe I'll try the same thing next year, but take them off by hand and plant them deeper somewhere and see if that makes a difference. Got some celery here. They can take a light frost, so I'm not worried about this frost coming up for as far as the celery goes. They might be, because the week after that, the forecast looks really good, so they should be fine. But keep an eye on it. They can take a light frost in the low 30s, maybe even 29 or so. But they can't take a heavy frost like cabbage can, I've noticed. And I want to make, I think next weekend or weekend after that, I want to make some bone broth, so that's what I'm holding these guys out for. And this big monster of a cauliflower plant, I did not think I was going to get ahead of cauliflower on it. You can see how long it's been growing. It's just forever. Like since the spring, here it is, almost November, and it just started about 2 weeks ago, just started getting ahead. And it's not that great looking on the head, but I'll eat it though. There's nothing, as long as there's no bugs or anything in here, I'll eat it. I'll be careful when I cut it up to make sure. But I'm gonna harvest that one also. It's hard to even find the base of this thing. This is gonna be like a tree. Get it on video here. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Man, it almost doesn't even want to cut. This trimmer's seen better days too. There it goes. Sheesh. Holy cow, I had peas on this trellis. One of the peas must have fell off. Started a new plant. Take all these over here to the side. I'm gonna set up a little shop over here and get a knife out here and cutting boards. I don't like doing this stuff inside. I got a compost bin here anyway. It's nice to just, I was waiting for it to warm up, take my shoes off out here. It's pretty chilly, it's like in the 50s, but I gotta figure out a way to ground somehow. I notice it makes a big difference with my knee. I hurt my knee pretty bad. I hurt my knee pretty bad there a couple years ago. And I've just like made bone broth. And once I started doing grounding, I noticed a lot. It was like late summer or like early fall last year. I heard about grounding and started doing it. I was like, wow, my knees feel better. Just slightly, a little bit here and there, getting better. And then winter came. I was like, oh no. It's hard to ground in the winter around here. But yeah, it started back up in the spring. And I've been doing it regularly all this warm weather period. It's really getting a lot better now. notice I'm finding myself still limping because I'm afraid, because it just kind of goes on me like, ow. But I'm starting to relax more and let myself walk without a limp and stuff. It's feeling a lot better. Bone broth and grounding and all that. And so, got to get some grounding in. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna order some grounding shoes that are made of like pure leather. Try to, like after supper, put my grounding shoes on and go for a walk. They say you should walk after you eat anyway, so I thought that'd be a nice blend of healthy things to do, you know. Have supper, put my grounding shoes on, go for a little walk. And so that's going to be my plan to get through this winter. And I also thinking about getting some red light therapy panels. I'm going to save up for that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, the health journey I'm going through with you guys on the channel here. Hopefully you enjoy this kind of stuff. If you're looking for a channel like this, like and subscribe. I always forget to say that in the middle of the video, so I'm glad I remembered this time. But yeah, I'll get my stuff set up here, and then we'll finish the video. Alright, got my shoes off, even though it's 50-some degrees out here. I'm in the sun, and got my knife, my cutting board. Gonna clean this stuff up. I need to get some type of stand or something for my phone to do this, but basically I just break these off. Put them in there. Once you get all the leaves cut off, you just take and cut this off real close here. Yeah, like that. Like I said, I used to take this stuff inside, but now I want to be out here in nature. Add to my compost pile. And just kind of inspect it and see. What I do is I just keep I peel the leaves back until I get, like I wasn't sure, like I said early on, I caught a bug. I wish I'd have caught it a little earlier, but I think I caught it in time. There was something eating away at it. Yeah, that's pretty good now. That's just a little dirt in there. Okay, so I got that one done. Put that off the side there. That was a big one. This is going to be a monster job here. I might just try and cut this guy. And you can see there's the head there. Cut this guy down here on the ground, probably easier. Oh yeah, that was much easier. But now, I wish I would have found a channel like this when I first started this. I first really started looking into metabolism, and like I found like no-dig gardening and stuff. And now I notice a lot of channels that didn't used to be no-dig or talking about no-dig, because it's kind of like the thing now. No-dig or regenerative, where you don't till the ground up. You just, put the layer of leaves down, protect the soil for the winter, and then just scoop the leaves aside and plant. Yeah, it's less work in that way. It's a little more work because you got to make compost. I got a lot of compost making videos on my channel. If you guys are interested in that, I make compost in the summer, and so I come up with some new ways of doing that. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. I'm gonna steam some. I'm gonna make it like a combination of vegetables, throw them together and steam them for tonight's supper. Tonight and tomorrow night's supper. That's a big contribution to the compost pile there. These are my special compost piles here off to the side. I put, when I make my bone broth, I save up chicken bones from pasture-raised chickens, and that's where I make bone broth out of it. And when I'm done with the bones, I put them in here, and I let them sit out here for 3 years. That's why I'm gonna make a third stack. Just gonna kind of rotate. 3 years, a couple years from now, I'll be putting that in the garden. I might like run it through the wood chipper and just kind of ground up the bones with the compost, put them out in the garden, and then 2 years from now, 1 year from now do that, 2 years from now, 3 years from now do that. 2 years from now do that, 1 year. 3 years from now I'll do this one, and I'm making this pile now. Just keep rotating. Anyway, that's the plan. I only do one take on these, so if you see me not being quite. Yeah, so here's another one. I wasn't sure if this was going to get ahead, but it's getting ahead on it. Pretty cool. Last couple of weeks. I think they might actually like the cool weather here. There we go. Got a little head, not much. But you might as well not waste it. I almost took it out of the garden a couple weeks ago, thinking it wasn't going to do anything. But yeah, that's a little bit of cabbage. Maybe I'll just throw these and whatever string beans I got and steam them up. Have me some supper tonight. With more minerals in it than if you bought the organic vegetables in at the grocery store. Because what they are allowed to call organic now is nothing like regenerative grown food that you can grow in your garden by making your own compost. So, anyway, I guess I should stop the video here. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Really big bone broth video here. Yeah, bone broth. Sauerkraut. So I'm making sauerkraut later today. Sauerkraut, and then maybe a bone broth video next week. But there's sauerkraut videos and there's bone broth videos on my channel already, if you want. But I'm hoping to get better at making these videos over time. So that's why I put new videos out. So anyway, try to get more detail and stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video. God bless.